Hello guys, I am Sonic Ghost and I'm here for a little unboxing portion. I just got this in the mail, just went out, got it from my mailbox. It is a PlayStation and PlayStation 2 controller to USB adapter, so what I want to do is unbox this for you guys first and do a little review for you. Now, I haven't even opened this yet. As you can see, the lid's already open on the package, but I just want to do this so I can flip it over and you guys don't see where I live. That's a big no-no. Anyways, let's open it up and see what we get. First things first, we get some paperwork here. And it's just confirmation. I'm not going to show that to you guys at all, because once again, no on address. Let's see what else we get in here. Is this? Okay, this is actually it. Now I'm going to come back to that and see what else is in the package. Let's see, is there anything else? No, there's not. Okay, good. So this is everything. And okay, so they basically just threw it into a little plastic sleeve. There's no instructions of any kind on here. I'm trying to read this for myself, so sorry once in a while this might get off camera. Just I haven't gotten this yet. So let's say there's a little crease down here. Let's open that up. Alright. Alright, that's everything. So this is your supposed driver CD. Where have I seen this before? I've seen this CD somewhere before. I actually think it was in a review of some handheld gadget from China. I don't even know what it was, but well, let me get that back in the shot. I don't know what it is. I'll put it on my computer maybe and see what it gives me. But this is the device itself, huh? Just like they said, 2 ports. Are they marked? Because they said this works for 2-player games, but they didn't say which port's what, so I'm gonna have to figure that out on my own. Alright, so I might come back with Sharpie and write on it. So, see how they hook up. I got myself a standard PlayStation 1 controller, basically the same thing as a PlayStation 2 controller. I have the exact same connector, so let's plug it in. Oh, I think it has to be upside down. There you go. Okay, it's just fine, huh? Okay, so. Oh, geez, that is bright. I'm getting that out of here, but, okay, I'm gonna play around with this for a while, and we'll see how this thing works.
Alright, I think I let enough time for me to go by, so I can take a look now at what the PlayStation 2 adapter for the PC has to offer you. So, let's take a look in deep on what this thing can do. Taking a look at the basic hardware of this device, it is a nice build, and also it features 2 controller ports. So if you look at the controller with the logo facing up and you hold it up like this is a good way to feel what controller port does what. On the left here is controller port number 1, on the right is controller port number 2. They don't label on the device itself, but it's not that big of a problem, because once you plug in a controller and start playing, then you know which port does what. And plus, for the most part, you don't need to know what port does what, because whatever program you're using will detect the controller that's being used. But looking at how the thing is built, it's a very nice build. It has a nice little long USB cable. It's about, I would say, close to a foot. So that's nice to give you that kind of a size, but you don't really need it when the PlayStation controller cords are pretty dang long. Plus, the build on the device itself feels very solid. The plastic here feels nicely built. Although the only thing that concerns me is, I don't know if you guys can hear this, but listen. You hear each time I tug that back and forth, I was forcing it there just so you guys can hear it. But there's a little squeak on the cord. That might sound like in the future it might just try to disconnect. That's the only fear I have about the build quality of this device. But overall, I do think that the build quality is great. Now taking a look at the CD that it comes with, some people might assume that this thing is plug and play ready and you just plug it in your computer and start playing. Well, for the most part, this device is a plug and play device. But if we want to get more out of it, like being able to use add-ons for the PlayStation, like those driving wheels or Guitar Hero controllers, or if you want the rumble feature on your controller, you will want to keep this CD that comes with the computer. Taking a look at what this thing has to offer, you see it has built-in drivers for the rumble feature, any add-ons like I mentioned. It can support the joysticks for some other PlayStation controllers. It has a lot actually to offer. At first when I thought I saw the CD, I thought it was going to be a joke. But more closely on the inside of the CD, it's very nice. And as you can see, that this disc is a nice little thing to have with this device. It gives you a lot of options, so that's very nice to see. You know what? Instead of me just talking about how the build is of this device and everything, let's take a look at how well this thing works with the PlayStation controllers. These are the two controllers I had to test with this device: an original PlayStation 1 controller without the joysticks, and then the original DualShock PlayStation controller. But they work the exact same way if you're using a PlayStation 2 controller. They have the exact same controller ports, so if you have one of those lying around, there's no problem. So let's take a look at some gameplay. And as you can see here, now playing a game of Burnout Paradise for the PC, this controller looks fantastic with this game. The adapter doesn't have any problems at all with recognizing the joysticks. The rumble feels great after you install those drivers with the CD. And plus, the game doesn't have any trouble recognizing you pressing the D-pad as a separate button than the joystick, unlike other controllers or adapters I've seen out there that does this. The joysticks feel very responsive. They don't feel like they have any delays, or it doesn't feel like an actual analog. It feels like full analog control. The buttons, they all feel very responsive and they feel like they do their own thing and they don't interfere with each other. Overall, using this controller with these games, it feels very nice and I really do enjoy it. And plus, those buttons for the joysticks work as perfectly fine as well. You won't see in this game, but I have tested it with some others and works just fine. Now let's take a look at how the computer recognizes the controller itself. As you can see, we're in device settings and I click on the device here that's called Twin USB Vibration. Works just fine. So now we'll take a look at the basic properties that comes with it after you install the driver that allows you to use Rumble. And as you can see, I'm pushing all the buttons and joysticks. Everything is working perfectly fine. Now we'll go over to calibration, allowing you to calibrate your joysticks. That works fine, but I haven't needed to use this feature because the joysticks feel very responsive as soon as you plug them in. The rumble feature feels very nice and responsive. You have left and right force feedback tests. You can also move around your joystick to test it. And you can also adjust how strong the vibration is. I really do like this feature. I do like the settings they have for this adapter to use with your controller. Overall, this PlayStation and PlayStation 2 adapter for the PC is a very nice little piece of hardware. I do like how it can allow you to play with two controllers at the same time and not have any problems with that. And I also like the fact that they throw in a lot of support for other things like the rumble feature on these controllers, accessories like the PlayStation wheels or the Guitar Hero controllers or things like that, and that is a very nice little bonus to have with something like this. And overall, even if you're just looking to use something like this just so you can play some games again with a good feeling controller, I would recommend this for anyone at all looking for a good PC controller and also has some PlayStation controllers laying around the house.